I need,
The Paramount City Council is now called to session. May I have roll call of council members, please?
Councilmember Guillen?
Here.
Councilmember Hoffmeyer? Councilmember Lemons? Vice Mayor Hanson?
Here.
Mayor Martinez?
Here.
Motion
At
to
this-
excuse Councilmember Hoffmeyer?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Guillen?
Yes.
Councilmember Lemons?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hanson?
Yes.
And Mayor Martinez?
Yes. At this time, we will present a video of our holiday highlights.
Yes, Madam Mayor, just as you said, the holidays are over, and we have a recap of of the events that took place over the holidays, and it was done by our social media crew, and then we'll go into the presentations. So with that, we'll go and roll the video.
she's up there! Hey, Christmas! We like Christmas! We're here to celebrate Christmas!
So beautiful.
Happy holidays, City of Paramount. I am here at the annual Breakfast with Santa with my niece, Aaliyah. So we're going to follow her around and check out the event.
That was nice. Okay, will my colleagues please join me at the podium, please? Good evening, everyone. Our first presentation will be the holiday event volunteers. Last month, we recognized all the wonderful groups who volunteered at our Halloween festival, Veterans Day celebration, and Senior Thanksgiving luncheon. Our delightful Christmas events that were highlighted in the video would not be as successful as they are without the participation of some great volunteers as well. They not only represent what Christmas is all about, a time of giving, but they also represent the paramount spirit. Would anyone from the following groups please come forward? Paramount High Cheer, Paramount High JROTC, and MUSA. Our cheer squad staffed the cookie hot cocoa booths at the tree lighting. They also assisted each night of the Santa train on Alpha 1, the warm-up vehicle, where they entertained the crowd prior to Santa's arrival. The JROTC helped out at Breakfast with Santa, primarily in the snow play and sled runs areas. And our dear Musa moms were busy elves, performing their annual magic by putting all the apples and candy canes in the holiday bags for each night on the Santa train. That was an amazing 25,000 over the 4 days. We thank all of you and your partners who aren't here tonight for doing a wonderful job. At this time, we will take a photo. Please join me.
Ken Matsui's going to tell you where to stand.
Paramount Cheer. Thank you, ladies. JR. Thank you.
It doesn't matter who guides them. Who guides them? Slide back until your heels hit. Stay on this ground level right here until your heels hit. Is that okay? I'm waiting for two of you on this side. Hey, Ken, can we get the chair advisor with her chair? Yeah, please, absolutely. Right. Listen to two of you up on the top. Ready? Come on in. Ready? Proclamations in the front, so you can see the pastor side, feet together. Hands right here. Proclamation come down. Yeah, you can. You hand that proclamation down to young gentleman in the front. Right there. Right there. Eyes right here, everyone. And smile. Count three. One. Two more times. And three. Good. 1, 2, 3. Last one. Big smiles, everyone. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you very much.
Our second presentation is Just Breathe, the Rocio Gillen Foundation. Now I'd like to introduce some remarkable, exceptional young men. Would Marcus and Christopher Gillen please come forward? Over the holidays, these two brothers from Lakewood reached out to the city of Paramount. They wanted to hold a breakfast with Santa and toy giveaway at Progress Park for those who are less fortunate. This was part of their mission to create something positive from something terrible and tragic. Rocio Gillen, the boy's mother, lost her life during the horrific concert shooting in Las Vegas. In the wake of that unthinkable heartbreak, Marcus and Christopher committed themselves to a special goal. Their mother had always taught them that a worthwhile life is one spent helping those in need. She had a distinctive phrase she would encourage them with throughout their lives: just breathe. And so they took that phrase and that life-affirming and memorable spirit and formed Just Breathe, the Rocio Gillen Foundation. And so they came to help many folks in our town during the holiday season. The city and Paramount Unified identified 25 Paramount and Lakewood families in need. That morning, 200 children and 100 adults were served a hearty breakfast. Then all of the kids were given toys and gift cards. Beyond this, the foundation has committed to providing 6 youth athletic scholarships for Paramount youngsters and 2 1,000 scholarships for Paramount graduating seniors. We are touched by these efforts and profoundly thank them and their generous young men for supporting our community. They present us with an example of graciousness and love that everyone can appreciate and celebrate. I want to add also that Marcus and Christopher are cousins of Councilmember Lori Gillen. At this time, we thank you and we'd like to take a photo with you. Thank you. Councilmember Gillen and I attended the breakfast back in December, and it was a wonderful, wonderful event. And so I just commend you boys. And so, okay, we'll take a photo, and here's a beautiful certificate for you. Okay, please join us up here. Military banner retirees. The city's beloved of heroes honors the brave women and men of Paramount who are currently serving in the military. Streetlight banners along Paramount Boulevard feature their photos and their branch of service. Once they end their tours of duty, we retire the banners and present them to each individual or their families. Tonight, we are recognizing 2 such Paramount heroes. I will call each one of them up individually to give their banner and take a photo. First, please welcome the family of Major Richard Ramos of the United States Army. The Major is still on his way home from his deployment in Germany, but we welcome the family to come forward. The family's not present. Okay, maybe they'll be a little bit late. Okay, and now we welcome Corporate Brian Aldana of the United States Marine Corps. Oh, he's not present either. Okay, well, that's all right. If they're not ready, they can't join us this evening, but yes. Any of the family members present? Okay. Okay, let's move on. Okay, item number 4 is Maricon Cup of Culinary Excellence winner. Maricon Vinegar is a great supporter of education in our town through the Paramount Education Partnership. In a similar fashion, they also sponsor the Maricon Cup of Culinary Excellence, an event at Cerritos College. Last year, high school students were invited to compete for the first time. All those taking part had 60 minutes to create entrees using Maricon products. Then a panel of chefs judged the competition with scoring based on creativity and technique. I'm happy to announce that the first high school winner was Paramount High's Osvaldo Galaz. He is a senior in the Pathway Program for Culinary Arts. His mouth-watering meal was baked panko chicken with roasted sweet potatoes, coleslaw, pickled cucumber, and avocado cilantro dipping sauce. Oh, yummy. You can come to my home and cook dinner. Osvaldo is just one more example of the outstanding young people of Paramount doing great things. His Paramount High School instructor, Juliet Bell, couldn't be here this evening as she is on maternity leave. But please welcome Osvaldo, Chef Michael Pirini from Cerritos College, and John Taklage of Maricon Vinegar. Congratulations.
You can do it here, okay? Or you want them up? Not so high, so it comes to your face a little bit.
Wow, gee. All right, thank you.
She's gonna take a photo. You test all your food on them? So they're part of the process. Slide the nice and close. Big smiles this way. Two more times. Nice smile. 1, 2, 3. One more time. Smile. Thank you very much.
National Drug and Alcohol Facts Week. January 22nd through 27th is National Drug and Alcohol Facts Week. This week is designed to emphasize the facts about drugs and their health effects on teens. The discussions also tries to counteract the myths about drugs and alcohol that teens get from the internet, social media, TV, music, or friends. In light of National Drug and Alcohol Facts Week, we want to recognize an important organization in our community to whom the city provides funding. Little House Recovery Home is a 28-bed rehabilitation facility that serves women who are recovering from drug and alcohol addiction. They provide a residential treatment program with a safe, supportive environment. We thank them for their important, compassionate work. Please welcome Little House.
My name is Samantha. I'm director at Little House, and we work with women who are fighting to change their life after the devastating effects of alcohol and drug addiction. While alcohol and drug addiction is a very personal disease, it affects our communities as a whole, and the effects are extremely devastating. We want to take this opportunity to thank you for your support, because without your support, our work could not be possible.
We're happy to support you.
Thank you.
Okay, Detective Mark Leach. Would you please come forward, Detective? On October 1st, 2018, Paramount deputies responded to a call regarding a person with a gun. They found a female victim being held against her will and were able to arrest the suspect perpetrator. Deputies responding to the call found evidence of the crime and required the assistance of Detective Leach, who took control of the investigation. Detective Leach discovered the felony sex crimes, assault with a deadly weapon, kidnapping, criminal threats, and false imprisonment had all occurred at this location. Thanks to his perseverance and skills, the investigation resulted in 13 felony counts. The suspect now faces life in prison without the possibility of parole. Tonight, we recognize and commend Detective Mark Leach for his excellent work. We thank him for his dedication to making our community a safe place. Thank you, Detective. Now please welcome Deputy Thomas Albanese. Reckless driving is a menace in our community. Stopping it is a top priority for our public safety and sheriff's department. Deputy Albanese has made this a personal objective. Over the last 6 months, he has been very successful against these violators. Near Orange Avenue and Rosecrans Avenue, he cited 3 motorists for doing donuts. This is a dangerous maneuver of driving in circles that can end up in collisions with other drivers or pedestrians. In addition to imposing citations and impounding vehicles, the deputy found that one driver had his children in the car. He arrested the man for child endangerment. In the same neighborhood, there was a motorist driving 80 miles per hour in a 40-mile-hour zone. Although the driver was swerving in and out of traffic, Deputy Albanese made the stop safely, avoiding any number of possible collisions. Tonight, we recognize and commend Deputy Albanese for his excellent work at keeping the streets of Paramount safe. Thank you so much, Deputy Albanese. Okay, that concludes our presentations for this evening. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we'll take a short recess. Thank you.
11, so we're going to remove that one, okay, off the consent calendar.
Okay. Okay,
And then I have to abstain because I wasn't here.
okay. At this time, are there any public comments?
Yes, Madam Mayor, there are 3 speakers cards.
Okay.
The first one is from Ms. Monisha Brown, and she'd like to discuss with the council the LACSD labor negotiations.
Good evening. My name is Monisha Brown, and I work at the Los Angeles County Sanitation Districts. And as you may know, the Sanitation District oversees a vast infrastructure of solid waste and wastewater operations for 78 cities countywide, including Paramount. Our work in science and engineering is vital to protecting public and environmental health. I am an ASME member who is speaking on behalf of nearly 1,000 fellow employees across 6 employee units at the sanitation districts. The workers at the sanitation districts take great pride in the award-winning service that we provide at the lowest rates as compared to similarly sized agencies. For example, the City of Los Angeles and Orange County sanitation districts charge their ratepayers almost double what we do. And you might be wondering what brought me here today. Mayor Martinez, you are a member of the Sanitation District's Board of Directors, and as a director, your vote on personnel committee issues at the sanitation districts is important to me and all the employees directly impacted by the results. Currently, the sanitation districts are embroiled in labor management contract negotiations that are in turmoil. Despite the excellent service we provide, the sanitation district's management is attempting to cut employees' total compensation for no good reason. The fact is that numerous member cities within the sanitation districts have negotiated for employee payment of their pension contributions and offered them a corresponding raise and a little bit more for cost of living. Employees at the sanitation districts are asking for the same arrangement. And over the course of our negotiations impasse, we have been through both mediation and fact-finding. The fact finder confirmed 2 very important facts. First, that the sanitation districts can afford what the sanitation workers are asking for. And second, what we're asking for won't increase rates. A rate increase is not needed because the sanitation district's budgets and rates already incorporate what we're asking for. In 2 consecutive polls of ASME's membership, the majority said that they would not accept the district's arbitrary and painful takeaways and would take job action up to and including a strike if need be. And while we don't relish the prospect, it's time to raise more public awareness broadly now because the sanitation district's policy decisions will eventually affect every city that we serve, including Paramount. And we believe that it would be a disservice to everyone for the sanitation districts to further demoralize its workforce, which will only increase attrition rates and make the challenging task of hiring the most qualified employees even harder. Because of all this, I urge you to sign a letter asking the sanitation district senior management to withdraw its unreasonable proposal and work with the employees to find a resolution that works for both sides. I have a summary of my key points and a sample support letter that I would like to enter into the meeting record and provide a copy to each council member. And thank you for your time and support.
Thank you, Monisha. Next.
Our next speaker, Madam Mayor, is Miss Andrea Crow from the Paramount Library, and she'd like to discuss with the council the library events.
Good evening, Mayor Martinez, council members in the city of Paramount. Paramount Library will be ending the month of January with a number of fun and informative events. Tomorrow, January 23rd at 5 p.m., children ages 5 to 12 are invited to an interactive program that features dances from around the world. On Saturday, January 26th at 12 p.m., we are hosting a bilingual English-Spanish presentation on disaster preparedness for adults. Adults will learn the 4 steps to preparedness and how to create a family plan to help keep everyone healthy and safe after a disaster. Next Thursday, January 31st at 4 p.m., MakeMo will be at the Paramount Library inviting children ages 7 to 12 to take part in an engineering challenge, build a bridge using Keva planks. We look forward to seeing you at the library. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea.
And our last speaker's card is from Julia Emerson from the gas company, and she'd like to discuss with the council in favor of a balanced energy.
Hi, thank you very much. I am Julia Emerson with the Southern California Gas Company. I feel like I'm back home. I'm here tonight to talk about the need, about energy and the need for balance. This has nothing to do with community choice aggregation. This is completely separate. This is the much bigger picture of what kind of energy we can use. You know that Southern California Gas Company distributes natural gas to many of the homes and businesses in the city of Paramount. A lot of your businesses, in fact, do rely on natural gas for certain industrial processes that only natural gas can be used for. Electricity can't be used for everything. Not everybody knows that. And most homes and businesses in Paramount have both electricity and natural gas. We see that as a balance. You have a choice. Natural gas is part of a balanced energy portfolio. I was in Sacramento recently with California Contract Cities, and I want to raise your awareness. You may know that there are people in Sacramento that are very intent on taking away your choice here in Paramount. They love the idea of electrifying everything. Because it looks like a real simple solution to help the environment. But imagine if there were a solution that is clean for the environment and less expensive, meeting all the state's climate goals, and yet remaining affordable for your homes and businesses. That's renewable natural gas. It's here today. We have pilot programs in place. It's expanding. More plans are coming in to capture natural methane from plants, from animal waste, from the sanitation district, from all kinds of sources. What it does is it takes the methane that Mother Nature would otherwise send to the atmosphere. We can capture that, turn it into something usable, and you have fewer greenhouse gases going to the atmosphere. Depending on the source you use, renewable natural gas is actually carbon neutral or even carbon negative. Imagine, cleaner than electricity and as much as 2/3 less expensive. That's the choice that can be available for the city of Paramount. We hope that you will consider that renewable natural gas or biogas should be a part of a balanced energy picture for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia.
Yes, Madam Mayor, before we go into the agenda, one of the military banner recipients is here now. There was apparently a mix-up on the time, so he's here to have his picture taken with the council. And so if the council wants to come back down there.
I'm glad you made it.
So he's at the back.
Okay,
so.
my colleagues, let's go down to the podium. Okie dokie. David, I present this to him. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Kicking you. No, I see it. Oh, thank you. Okay, at this time, we would like to thank Corporal Brian Aldana of the United States Marine Corps for his service. And we would like to present you with your banner. And
so because you're in the Marine Corps, your banner got a little more roughed up.
we we thank you for your service. We respect you and commend you. And here's a little token as well. And we'll take a photo right down here. And we'll take a photo with you, and then we'll ask your family to join us as well.
Can we come up on the dais?
I didn't do it. Congratulations.
So if we get the mayor right in the middle and the council in the back, and Brian, up, see that stuff right there? So you get right in between, there you go. And then family members right here. Up, and can I get you on this side? I'll put you right there. Everybody, can we see a face on everybody?
Good job, David, just like Ken.
No.
There we go. All right. On 2, 1 and 2. And one more, please. 1 and 2. Thank you.
You can get last one.
Really? Oh, wow.
Okay.
That must have been hard.
That means you got to enlist again.
Okay. Consent calendar.
Make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Second with the removal of item 11 on behalf of Councilmember Gann.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Guillen? Yes. Councilmember Lemmons?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hanson?
Yes.
Mayor Martinez?
Yes.
And I'll move item 11.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Guillen? Councilmember Lemmons?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hanson?
Yes.
Mayor Martinez?
Yes. Item number 12, a report, a 3-month review of a city council permit for live entertainment of DeLucia Bar. May I have a staff report, please?
Yes, Madam Mayor and Council. As you recall, in October, the City Council approved a live entertainment permit for this location. The City Council approved this permit with several conditions attached to it. Many of these conditions were based on the past history that law enforcement in the city has had with this location, as well as with the operator of the business. You may recall from our discussion in October that the proposed conditions were put in place so as to avoid many of the same things from happening again. As you're about to hear from the report, there have been some violations of the permit conditions that the council approved and that the applicant also had agreed to. But the good news, however, is that in the 3-month time period, law enforcement has not had any call-outs to the location, and we haven't received any complaints from the neighbors about issues such as illegal parking. So with that, I'll turn it over to our Public Safety Director, Ms. Adriana Lopez, who will walk us through the 3-month review. Adriana?
Yes, thank you, John. Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. As John said, this is a 3-month review for the live entertainment permit for DeLucia's Bar. DeLucia's Bar is located at 14123 Garfield Avenue in an M2, which is a heavy manufacturing zone. It is owned by Jose Hernandez and operated by Joseph Hernandez. The establishment is licensed by ABC, which stands for Alcoholic Beverage Control, for a Type 42 sales license of beer and wine for on-site consumption with no building access to minors. At its October 2nd, 2018 meeting, the City Council adopted Resolution 18027, which approved live entertainment at DeLucia's Bar. As part of the approval process, the City Council asked public safety staff to conduct a 3-month review of the live entertainment permit. So tonight's presentation is a 3-month review of documented activities from the date that the live entertainment performances commenced. This is the format that was approved by the City Council. So De Lucias is authorized for live entertainment from 8 p.m. to midnight on Fridays, and on Saturdays from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. On Sundays, mariachi performances are authorized from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Condition number 4 of the live entertainment permit requires that a monthly calendar of the proposed live entertainment venues shall be submitted electronically to the Public Safety Department for review and approval at no later than 1 week before the next month. During this 3-month review, the live entertainment calendars for both November and December of 2018 were submitted late, and also for January 19th was also submitted late. This is a direct violation of condition number 4 of the live entertainment permit. During this time, Public Safety has consistently needed to remind Joseph Hernandez to send the monthly calendars on time. We reminded him both in person and via email. During a conversation that took place between Joseph and myself, I stated that he could submit a calendar and then ask for revisions. At that time, Joseph did mention to me that it was difficult for him to secure the venues ahead of time and to meet the deadline. But once again, we told him that he could submit it and then request revisions to the schedule. During a routine patrol check, a deputy observed that there was a mariachi group that was playing on Sundays at 1:09 a.m. Mariachi music is an authorized format, but on Sundays afternoon from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Condition number 5 states that no change or alteration to the approved entertainment format shall be made without prior approval. Condition number 33 also states that any special events for the premises shall be reviewed in accordance to special event permit regulations by the Community Development Department. The applicants are required to submit a special event permit application no later than 2 weeks in advance of the proposed event. Joseph Hernandez was reminded by staff that prior approval to change live entertainment formats was needed. At that time, it appeared that Joseph Hernandez was not aware of the condition. As every December 31st is a very difficult night for large gathering, or actually very busy night for large gatherings throughout the city. Every year, the Public Safety Department conducts checks of businesses' websites as well as social media to identify any event in the city with the potential of unruly behavior. While staff was conducting a search of the business website, an authorized event was discovered in De Lucia's website. The event advertised entry fee of $15, which included champagne and party favors. This is a direct violation, again, of Condition 33, which requires a special event permit for such events. While preparing for this 3-month review, staff also noticed via the ABC license query system that a disciplinary action is pending against De Lucias. It should be noted that ABC issued a citation to Joseph Hernandez on June 20th, 2018, pursuant to having distilled spirits on site. A hearing has been scheduled for January 23rd, 2019. ABC may seek a 10-day suspension or a fine. A judge will have 30 days to render a decision, which may lead to suspension, fine, or dismissal of De Lucia's ABC license. Furthermore, staff also noticed that ABC license for De Lucia had expired on December 31st of 2018. After speaking with the ABC representative, it was determined that a payment along with a late penalty fee had been received on January 7th of 2019. Having an expired ABC license is a violation of Condition 3 of the live entertainment permit, which states that at all times the applicant shall comply with all the requirements and conditions of approval by ABC. An expired ABC license also violates condition number 9, which states that all required permits and licenses from all applicable regulating agencies shall be valid and effective at all times. In summary, these are the live entertainment conditions that were violated during this 3-month period. But as a part of the approval live entertainment permit, City Council and the applicant agreed on the conditions identified on the permit. The applicant did sign an affidavit reflecting that he understood the conditions of the live entertainment permit. During the first 3 months of the approval, or the approved live entertainment permit, as stated here, these are the following conditions that were violated. Condition number 4, which is the monthly calendars that have not been submitted on time. Conditions number 4 and 33, which basically states that there's no change or alteration to the approved entertainment format without prior approval, and also the requirement to have a special event permit. And then condition number 3 and 9, which is that the applicant should have all their licenses valid and effective at all times. So we go to law enforcement activity. From October 6 to 2018 through January 14 of 2019, we did not have any law enforcement responses to the location. As a common practice with any new live entertainment permit, we conduct many patrol checks, and during this time, there were 18 patrol checks that were conducted both by city and LASD personnel. Our analysis is that we did not receive any complaints or issues from adjacent businesses or residents. There were no law enforcement concerns. However, the applicants did directly or indirectly violate multiple conditions of the live entertainment permit. And staff also needed to remind the applicant to adhere to all the conditions. Staff will continue to work with the applicant to ensure that the conditions are understood and followed, and also to ensure the safety of the public. It is recommended that the City Council receive and file this report with the stipulation for a subsequent 3-month review, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Adriana? Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll move the item.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Guillen?
Yes.
Councilmember Lemons?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hanson?
Yes.
Mayor Martinez?
Yes. Item 13, an oral report, Paramount in Motion Transit Program Update. Staff report, please.
Yes, Madam Mayor and Council, we are getting closer and closer to the implementation date of our new transit program. So in preparation for this, we have done a lot of outreach to the community to inform everyone about the changes that are coming. We've also done targeted information sessions to those groups who are more transit dependent, like our seniors and our college-bound kids. Now, with that, I'll turn it over to our Recreation Director, Dave Johnson, who will handle the item. Dave?
Thank you, John. Mayor and council members. So, obviously, after council approved the change in our transit program, we began working on how to get that message out. We started off first with a branding of how we're going to market this new transit program. We came up with Paramount in Motion, and the logo includes all our providers that are providing transit services in town as part of this effort to get people in different modes of transportation. We did create a website, ParamountInMotion.org, that has a full description of all the changes that we're making. We have now a street banner indicating these changes, and again, that same website to go to. We have flyers as well, and we're looking for a full implementation date of February 10th. So the old system completely shuts down February 9th, and the new system kicks in February 10th. We are on the street banner, on the flyers, we also have a phone number to call. They're calling the recreation office. Sulema Rosales is actually the point person that she's answering all these questions that are coming her way about this transition to the program. And now when we get to the last slide, we're getting a lot of phone calls now. In terms of public communication, as John mentioned, we are trying to outreach to the community in various ways. With regards to the fixed route transition to our Long Beach Transit partners, We did hold a community meeting on November 15th. We did directly present it to the high school parents at a meeting at the high school because obviously their children use the bus sometimes to get to school, and we actually directed it to the Paramount High School seniors when they had a meeting. We do have it on their high school website, these changes. We did address it to the Parks and Recreation and Youth Commission as well. We now actually have a staff member at various times riding the fixed route bus to answer any questions about these changes. And you know, they have expressed some concerns about the changeover. I mean, they're very used to the old system, and they're going to have to get used to the new system. So Sulema actually is available. They can call her, and she can help them figure out if they want to get from point A to point B. She can direct them on what Long Beach Transit route to take. Long Beach Transit also has an ambassador program where we're going to be distributing that number as well. You can contact them, and they will help you figure out also how to use their system to get from point A to point B. We will have some upcoming social media postings, and we'll be doing presentations with our Buena Vista and Paramount High School West students. And I believe we have, so on the regard to the social media presentations, I think we have a sample of what we'll be developing and putting out. John, do you have that?
The City of Paramount's transit system is moving in a new and better direction. All current forms of city-provided transit, excluding the medical taxi program, will end on February 9th. This includes the city's Easy Rider, Dial-A-Ride, College-Bound, and Elderly Nutrition buses. All replacement forms of transit will begin on February 10th. For instance, the Easy Rider fixed route buses will be replaced by an expansion of Long Beach Transit bus routes that currently run through Paramount. This will greatly improve services for residents and expand local and regional accessibility.
So that's just a draft. Our social media team will work on other videos, one for the College Bound, one for our Dial-A-Ride participants, and this is still in a draft form. They're still working on them. With regards to College Bound, the transition to our Paramount University Pass, our PUP system, we had the same meetings as the community meetings as we did with the fixed route. So we did direct again to the seniors who are most likely to use this system to get on not College Bound, but now on PUP. We did also address it with the two Parks and Rec and Youth Commission. We have posted this PUP application flyer on the Paramount High School senior page. Apparently they have their own dedicated page on Schoology. We also have it on the Paramount High School website. We did call all former holders of our College Bound bus passes to let them know. So we went back several years of who held that pass. And so now they know they can come in and transition to the PUP program. And we also have a staff member riding on the college-bound buses now that they're back in service, and we're letting the students know on those buses that we're making that transition. We have the applications for them to fill out. They just got to pop by the office. Sulema actually has the transit cards in our office, and as soon as they come in and give us the application, show us that we have to do a Metro survey. It's like 8 questions, it's really simple, and then she can hand them the pass, and they're good to go. And again, just to remind you that this college-bound bus pass actually will be good for, we'll check to make sure they're in attendance in college in spring and fall, but if they have that, they're good all year. So they get a hold on this pass. It's full access on Metro and Long Beach transit lines. And then upcoming, again, we'll be doing another social media posting, a video similar to the fixed route one you just saw, and then doing a presentation to our Buena Vista students. And then our communication with our Dial-A-Ride bus and ENP bus transit to the taxi-based programs. Again, this is for our population of seniors over 60 years and older and our disabled population. Will have full access to this. Now, this is the case where they're going to have to get a card. They'll get that through our office. It takes a while to get it, but on that card, they'll have to put a stored value. So the card is free if they qualify. They're a permanent resident, 60 years old or disabled, and on that card, they'll have to put stored value. So each trip costs it costs $1, and so every time they swipe their card, $1 comes off their stored value. So we held 2 separate meetings, different times for this group to come hear about the new program. Again, both commissions heard it, and then Sulema has been going to our senior center. She's set up 5 different meetings to go over there. There's a lot of question and answering with our seniors. Again, it's a big changeover. They're going to love it, and they're telling us that they're going to love it. But they do have a lot of questions because sometimes they teach each other and they kind of get the message wrong. So Sulaiman's out there fixing those and answering all their questions to make sure they understand how the system works. And then on our bus stops, we're posting, so all the Easy Rider bus stops that we have, we are posting that sticker you see on the bottom right to let folks know. So when they hop on the bus, if for some reason they haven't gotten notice or they haven't seen one of our staff members handing out flyers, they'll see that notice on the bus stop and they can go and contact us or go onto the website to find out what changes are coming their way. And this also will be on the college-bound bus signs as well. Come February 9th, actually the stickers, I'm told by Public Works, actually all the stickers are up, so they're all ready to go. And then come February 9th, after that service ends, those signs will come down, and then we are fully transitioned over to Long Beach Transit. And then so now that these stickers are up, we started getting a larger flow of phone calls into the office. The buses themselves are city-owned buses, so we'll have to put those out to auction, and they'll follow the same process that Public Works always follows with auctioning items off. And that ends my presentation. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for David?
I don't have a question, but I have a comment, Madam Mayor. I just want to say, David, I think that the work that you've done on this is phenomenal, and you know, that researching all this and bringing these changes to the city is going to make a really dramatic impact on transportation, and I want to thank you for taking the time to do that research. And Sulaima, you've got a big job ahead of you, but if PEP is any example of what you can do with the program, I know it's going to be great, so thank you too.
Item 14, proposed 2019 city special and holiday events schedule. May I have a staff report, please?
Yes, you may, Madam Mayor. We just wrapped up the holidays, as you know, as you saw earlier tonight, but here we are at it again. Time to review the upcoming events for 2019, and boy, do we have a lot of them. So most are the successful events that we all have known to love, but we're also rolling out some new ones as well. We're also going to try a few new things. So with that, I'll turn it back over to our Recreation Director, Dave Johnson, who will go over this item.
Thank you, John. Mayor, council members. So as John mentioned, we just finished, but while we're finishing those events, we're actually planning out for the next year, so we have the whole year planned out. So we just want to walk you through these events, these dates, to make sure you can plot them on your calendars so you have them way in advance, and that gives us time to go ahead and schedule our partners that help us with these events. So this is just a quick snapshot of these are the normal annual events that we do. There's quite a few, but we do this with various partners. They're not all city-run events. We do work with the Peak, the Elks, and with our local churches. So the first event that's going to come up this calendar year is our second year of doing the eco-friendly event. Again, it's an event where we can teach our community about sustainable living. The Dia del Niño event is the Tepic event that we partner with, and they do an outstanding job. I'm not sure how many years they're on now, I think 4. And again, this is it's an event that celebrates our local children, and all children actually. And then a National Day of Prayer, this is one where we work with our Paramount churches. It's held the first Thursday of May every year, and it's held at our Memorial Plaza outside of City Hall. And then Memorial Day is an event we work with the local Elks, Paramount Elks, and again, this is to honor our Paramount military folks. And then we go into our Heritage Festival, which this will be our 3rd year. For the first 2 years, we held it at Paramount Park. We are going to make a transition and hold it into our downtown. Again, an effort to bring attention into our beautiful downtown. And again, for some reason, everybody likes to walk on a city street. I don't know what that deal is, but they love it. So we're taking it into the downtown. We'll do a street closure and have a great time like we did. We'll still have the same family fun items. All the heritage, we're going to bring out the cows again. And then this year, we're working with the Chamber. They're going to do a Taste of Paramount event. So they're getting local restaurants and businesses to come out and sell food. And then our summer concert series. So this is the event that we do at Progress Park. It's Thursday evenings. We do 6 events. It'll be our 5th year, our 3rd year at Progress Park. And at your February 5th meeting, we'll present the bands that we have selected. We've run this again through our Youth Commission and Parks Rec Commission. I think we've done a really good job choosing a wide variety of genres of music this year. And then at the Day of the Dead event, this is also a Tepic event. And again, this is a very wonderful cultural event they provide to our city, and that will be in October. And then we go into, this is where we start really cranking things up. We get into our Halloween event, where we also conduct our haunted house in October. we go into our veteran celebration. So the veteran celebration, that was the first year that we had tried that event. We did it at Paramount Park. We did it outside. We did it as a breakfast event for our veterans. It was kind of always on intent to kind of try to do something different each year. So what we're proposing for year 2 would be to have very similar elements to what we had outside, but to do it at like a military ball. So like we do our senior Thanksgiving dinner, we would go inside the gym, make it a dinner event, treat it kind of like a military ball. And the hope, because last year I think it was the military member and 1 or 2 guests, we'd like it to open up to their family. So if they, they want to bring, their family, so they're with their loved ones and be honored at an event, that's what we're going to be shooting for this year as a dinner military ball event. And then we go into senior Thanksgiving in November. We go to our tree lighting event in December. This is our kickoff for the holiday season. And then we do photos with Santa. These funds are used to support the Paramount Education Partnership Scholarship Program. And then Santa Train, which we all know and love, and we give out tons of candy canes and apples. And then we end our holiday season and our calendar year with the Breakfast with Santa event. Now, in terms of what John mentioned, we do have some new offerings this year. Excuse me. We're going to do these 3 events. I'll go in detail here. The Easter Bunny photos. The first set of photos that we at council budgeted for an Easter Bunny outfit, so we now have an Easter Bunny outfit. We'll be offering photos at the Eco-Friendly Fair on that Saturday. And then that following Sunday, it'll be offered at the community center using that Santa cabin. Magda will be decorating it more like Easter colors, and we'll be doing photo packages again with Ken, and that money will also go to support PEP. And then this one's new. So June 1st is the day of our heritage event in the downtown. We did receive a Metro LA Open Streets grant for about $160,000. It's going to allow us to hold an event, a large path that will cut through Paramount into Bellflower. It's a circular path. So you see that photo in the bottom? The whole idea is to get cars off the street and open up the streets, again, because everybody loves that, to go ahead and ride, bike, walk, jog, whatever you'd like to do on those closed streets. So it's going to be a mixture of hard and soft closures of the route, but it's going to include Paramount Boulevard, which is where our heritage event will be set up at. The second thing that's coming, we've been approached for multiple years now to hold a parade. So there have been community members that have been pushing for a parade. This is the perfect opportunity to try a pilot parade. Because of the Open Streets grant, we're already going to have a lot of personnel ready to close the streets. So this is the perfect effort to go ahead and try to see if a parade will come back to Paramount. Now, we do have a long history with the parade, going back to the 30s, I'm told, and it's gone in different iterations, so now it would be kind of a heritage parade. This will be very much like a TPEAK event, where a community organization will form. They're going to do all the legwork. We're there to support them and make sure it happens. So if council's in favor of that, we'd like to see if we can get that parade off the ground. And the last one is, so our concert series has become a little more popular, and we're happy to see that. But we want to try something a little different. So going into September, outside the summer concert period, we want to bring some attention to our historic hay tree out here by City Hall. It's a state historic landmark. It's a cute little event or area. So we'd like to create a nice, small, intimate community event and make it kind of a cultural event. And we'd be able to have music, showcase local artists that come out and show the various art forms that they have. And the first year, and you'll see this at your February 5th meeting, I'll go into more detail then, but we'd like to bring out a Spanish guitarist, a percussionist, and a flamenco dancer, and kind of create this cute little event under the hay tree, and then have a beer and wine garden. We'd serve sangria, things of that nature to kind of fit that cultural event. And each year we would look to do this event and kind of change the cultural aspect of it. And that ends my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any?
It all sounds really good, Dave. I just have one comment. Somebody had asked me to see if there could be a little section during the Santa's train where children with special needs, I guess there was some scuttlebutt about the kids getting rushed through, and then if you have special needs, they had some meltdowns. And so they wanted to see if we could reserve like a certain time, maybe one of the nights where kids with special needs can have a few more minutes to get up there and take a photo with Santa. And that way they're not rushed and the noise isn't so much, and maybe just cater a little bit to children with special needs in the community.
We can certainly do that. If anyone brings it to our attention and when we arrive at a stop, we will certainly stop the train or stop the line to let that individual in. But yeah, it does get kind of crazy. So that's something we can look at in maybe more detail to see if maybe there's a better way of doing that.
Yeah, I think something happened on Facebook or something where somebody from the city said something and then the community got upset. So I just think to squash all that, let's just, maybe we could put it in the schedule somewhere.
Okay, we'll look at that. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, David. Okay, are there any comments from council members?
Need a motion to approve. So move.
Is it? Okay, may I have a second?
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Gian?
Yes.
Councilmember Lemons?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hanson?
Yes.
Mayor Martinez?
Yes. Any comments from council members?
That was my only comment.
Staff?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'd like to introduce a new full-time staff member. We had a vacancy in our Parks and Recreation Department, and our new employee is Ms. Natalie Duenas. Natalie, why don't you stand? Oh, she's already standing up. Look at that. She's on top, on the
Good
ball
girl.
there.
Good girl.
She comes to us from the Gallo Wine Company, where she was an administrative assistant to the Southern California General Manager. So I'm sure Dave Johnson's going to put her on serving the wine at our little event that we're going to have out here in September. There you go. Natalie is married and is the mother of 2 boys, ages 4 and 7. She received her bachelor's degree from Dominguez Hills, and is currently working on her master's degree and will graduate in May of 2019. Her interests include hiking and coming to our own Paramount Drive-In. So introduce you here to Natalie Duenas.
Welcome,
Welcome, Natalie.
She looks like a high school student.
She does. She looks very young. I guess I should add what she's doing. She's working with Magda over at the Senior Center and also working mostly on facilities.
Wonderful. Okay, at this time, I'm going to adjourn this meeting in honor of John Nolan. Many of you knew John Nolan of the Paramount Traditional Artists Guild. Sadly, John passed away on the 15th of this month. He was a big part of the Paramount community for many years. After a career in the military, he settled in our area and became involved with TAG. He was co-chair of their annual art show starting in the mid-1990s. He assumed the overall chairmanship of TAG in 2000. His devotion to art, and especially to the young artists of Paramount, was well known. The TAG show was a major undertaking in our city. John's calm, ever-handed demeanor always made it go smoothly. He will be missed very much.
Big surprise.
Yeah, God bless him. He's such a genuine, sweet person, so kind. So I adjourn this meeting in his honor. At this time, we will go into the successor agency for the Paramount Redevelopment Agency. May I have roll call, please?
Councilmember Gian?
Here.
Councilmember Hoffmeyer? Councilmember Lemons?
Here.
Vice Mayor Hanson?
Here.
Mayor Martinez?
Here.
Motion to excuse Hoffmeyer.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Gian?
Yes.
Councilmember Lemons?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hanson?
Yes.
Mayor Martinez?
Yes. Item number 1, resolution number SAPRA 19001. May I have a staff report, please?
Yes, I'll turn this over to Karina Lamb, our finance director, to handle the item. Karina?
Thank you, John. Madam Mayor and members of the council, the item before you is the ROPS 19-20 for the former Paramount Redevelopment Agency. ROPS, ROPS, stands for Recognized Obligation Payment Schedule. And this ROPS here is for period fiscal year 19 to 20, which covers July 1st, 2019 through June 30th, 2020. As you know, all former redevelopment agencies were abolished in 2012. And for us in Paramount, this means that we lost $5 to $6 million a year in funding. Since then, each successor agency is required to prepare an annual ROPS to be approved by a local oversight board before submitting to the Department of Finance for approval. Each ROPS, what is it? It is to capture the funding required to wind down the business of the former redevelopment agency. Since Senate Bill 107 was passed, we're now required to submit the ROPS to the county board for review. After your review tonight and approval, this item will be considered by the county board next Tuesday. The schedule for your consideration tonight has no new items. As you know, we are winding down the business of the former redevelopment agency. The total obligation request is at $10.6 million. The vast majority of the obligation is related to the bond debt service, approximately $9.8 million. Also included in the schedule is $250,000 administrative reimbursement to the city and $500,000 settlements from the state. With that, this concludes my report. It's recommended the SEPRA board read by title only and adopt this resolution, SEPRA 19001, approving the administrative budget and ROBS 19 to 20. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Are there any questions for Karina?
Move adoption.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Gian?
Yes.
Councilmember Lemmons?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hanson?
Yes.
Mayor Martinez?
Yes. At this time, I adjourn this meeting.